Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to another video. Now I know that some of you have probably seen the video that I put up onto YouTube yesterday. This one is it's a little bit more of that was meant to be an intro video, and what I seemed to introed about was my bloody two vehicles, and obviously having a little bit of a moan and groan about network rail as well. So that yeah, it wasn't really much of an intro, was it? But so I will say this video is an explanation of how I do things in the same day courier world. So sit back and let it play out, and hopefully you're not going to be too bored of what I'm going to come out with. So yes, stop bloody lights. So I'm just on my way back from a job down in Wiltshire. Just going up the A47, as they would call it. Not the A47, the A429. So yes. So how I do things, I would say that I've got my own customers, direct customers, here in the UK, and they're not just sort of around where I'm based, they're sort of scattered around the UK. And I have a European customer as well, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes in regards to communication. Their English is not brilliant. I definitely can't speak their lingo. And then when I'm not doing any customer bookings, I fill my time out on the exchange and directly to other courier companies as well. So yes, we've got a good number of customers. I would say I've got certain times of year it can be extremely manic. This year it's not. It was a little bit like trying to get an old car started this year. It was quite stop and start. We have one busy day, then we'll have like a real steady 2 days, and we'll have a couple of real busy days again, and then it will sort of hang itself off a bit, and before you know it, it was sort of it was a bit of a frustrating year up to now. This year's been, but nevertheless, it's been good. We are a little bit down on customer bookings, but we're not, sort of alarming. We haven't lost any customers. Well, we have. I've lost one customer, but I had to give her the elbow. So because every year it just becomes. It starts off okay, and then literally it's like the goalposts are changed. And they've made it more complicated than what they needed to make it. I've had to tell them, look, I'm really sorry, but I can't be a provider to you anymore. But the rest of them, I've got them trained pretty well, actually, to be fair. And that's what it's all about. It's managing their expectation levels as well as managing your own expectation levels. If you can do that, you'll do well. You'll do very well. but at times it can be a little bit, you know, it can be hard work having your own customers. People say, well, the only way to make this job work is have your own customers. Well, technically you're right, but when you do have your own customers, it's a completely different beast that you're dealing with. So, and a lot of my UK based customers are all interlinked with each other, so I've been able to sort of carve out a monopoly job with them rather than you know, just having one or two from the same industry and then another one or two from a completely different industry. So yeah, so overall I'm quite happy with the customers I've got, but yeah, at times it can be quite, you know, hard, especially when it comes to the European side of things, when we have to go over to Europe, because I mainly do all the UK collections and then hand over to Trevor, who will then do the tricky job of dealing with the French authorities at customs, and then having to drive to wherever he needs to go to. But yeah, it's also communicating with them in the UK as well as them in Europe to give them updates as and when they need to. And then I've, like you saw in yesterday's video, I've got a customer that's just come on board a couple of 3 weeks ago. Actually, they've just run me up to say, can we have a job for tomorrow? I'm like, oh shit, I'm already sort of booked for tomorrow, but you can, but it won't be me, it'll be another driver. And that, yeah, that's fine, they said. So they're from a completely different industry, and it's like getting them to sort of know how I work, and it's me getting to know how they work, and so yeah, it's fine, it's good, and it's, you know, keeps a steady progression. I mean, I would like another customer as well, but we will see what. I'm not one of these that just try and chucks everything at. I want to pick the right customers, and that's how I work. So yeah, so when I'm not doing anything with my customers, I do then go on the exchange, which I use as a backload. What is that partner Bilingo doing in front? God only knows. Trying to stop the other phone from getting in front of him. Oh, good grief. You see it all, don't you? You see it all. So yeah, so today, I'm in the Bilingo today, and it's been a bit of a cock up of a day, but never mind, it is what it is, and it is how it goes. There's absolutely nothing you can do. But yeah, so I had to go and pick the Bilingo up this morning and get that done and dusted and sorted, and which has made my mechanic very happy that it's out of his way. So when I did finally get a job, it was mid-morning, and yeah, pang, it starts to striking, and you don't want to be sitting around and you know, then you're having to compete with everyone that wants to get out of your area to then get, you know, yeah, to get to where they want to go to. So yeah, I started to get a bit sort of panicky by mid-morning, and I don't like not having something in the bag, if you get where I'm coming from. So yeah, I'm quite but yeah, I got this little job. It was a job down to Wiltshire. In terms of the mileage, it's nothing, and I got good, you know, I got good rate for it, but obviously I had in the back of my mind that I'm not going to really, the chances of getting something out of there is minute. I've probably got more chance of yeah, pissing in the wind and it not blowing back in my face. So, but hey, at least it got me out from under the feet of the of my good lady, because she'll only henpeck me and make me do other jobs around the house. So, but yeah, in terms of financially, possibly weren't very viable doing this job today, knowing it was going to leave me in a dodgy area. But to be fair, the courier company that I did it for are lovely. They really are such a nice people at that courier company, and every time I get a job through them, I'm always grateful, and they pay a fair pay. They always pay early, always. Every time I've done a job for them, it's never been a late payment. They always pay early, and that's what makes it worthwhile going on, getting work through the exchange. You know, not everyone's a dickhead. You know, yes, there is some. Yeah, admittedly, there is. There is more than what we would like, but yeah, there is. It is what it is, ain't it? And you know, the area weren't very good, but it was an easy delivery. To be fair, it was, yeah, very, very easy, and I did actually think, oh, you know, I've done this type of delivery before, and I might end up having a bit of issues, but to be honest with you, I didn't. It was easy enough in the end. We got it done. So, and I'm just having a nice tootle up, back up towards home. So that, it's only going to be a short video. I just wanted to explain that, you know, I'm not just solely on the exchange. I have got my own customers, and that I use the exchange as a filler and as a backload site. And you know I said I wouldn't give any advice out. I will give you my opinion. I like giving my opinion. You know, no matter what the effects could be after, I do like to give my opinion. And my opinion is, if someone was going to ask me now, well, I want to join the courier exchange, well, my answer to you would be, if you do, you're off your rocket, and you've got more, you know, if you've got a family, or you're young, or you've got a mortgage and rent to pay, whatever, don't do it. Do not do it. You'd be bonkers. You might as well get a few grand and set fire to it. That's what you might as well do. That if you've got your own customers, that's a different kettle of fish. If you want to be like Pete the trucker or courier will tell you, if you want to be an Uncle Albert and you haven't got kids and you haven't got a mortgage or rent to pay, and you know, or your missus is out there earning a good screw, then yeah, it depends what your circumstances are. But yeah, if you're retired, semi-retired, it might be Uncle Albert. Yeah, I don't blame you. Get out there and get signed up, like. But would I suggest it to someone of, you know, early 20s to, you know, 50s that got bills to pay, got them expenses that I've said? No, I wouldn't. But if you got your own customers, yeah, it's quite good for that. If you can get a bit of a deal out of the courier exchange, the sales team, then by all means do so. I know they've had criticism in the past in terms of trying to sell you a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but when I spoke to them, they were quite clear to me that, you know, you'll learn off it with the amount of effort you put into it, and yeah, and you've got to come into this industry knowing that when you put a bid on a job, you're not going to always get that job. There's some jobs I've done in the past, I see reoccur onto the exchange. I think, oh, I'm going to get it, I'll go in at the same price. Yeah, it's all about sometimes with certain courier companies, it's about who they, you know, if you've got a really good relationship with them. Sometimes with certain courier companies, it's trying to sell it as cheap as chips, and other times it's you know, it's how far away you are from that job. So there's lots of factors involved, yeah, you don't take it personal. I sometimes take it quite personal, and I sometimes think, well, next time I see a job on you post, that's it, lucky you, you're not having it at the same price as you did last time. So you can't be too much of a witch over it. You gotta be we just gotta live and let live, and you gotta think, well, you know, when I sell a job, I try and sell a job to A, who I know, B, feedback, and that's another thing I haven't mentioned, feedback as well. C, in terms of ETA for collection, and I always look, they're the three things I look at really before I look at the price. And you do get the odd dickhead that, you know, there's a 50-mile job, small van job, and he thinks, oh, you know, try and be a clever dick and puts 130 quid on it. You're like, no, it's a small van job. The item is no bigger than a shoebox, and you really think I'm going to sell you that job for 130 quid? You're off your rocket. I'll sell it for 50 quid, but I'm definitely not selling it for 130 quid. You can go and take a run and jump, you know. So, yeah, jog on, kid. But you always get it. But they're the things that I look at in terms of when I need a job covering, that I put on the exchange. I look at if they've got really good feedback, ETA, and who it is first. Most of the time it's really hard when you come to sell a job to get it covered, because you don't know. I mean, my principle is I'm not selling to, you know, if you run a syndicate, I'm not going to sell to you. But it's really hard to, you know, find out at the very start that they are a syndicate. I mean, I have been given a bit of advice from someone to say, you know, look out for this or that, and it normally gives you a great detail. But yeah, really, I just want sole drivers, really. Just, you know, even though I've got a limited company, I really only want sole drivers. I've got 2 vehicles, but I haven't got another driver sitting in the other vehicle. It's something that I won't do. So, does it interest me? It's something I don't want to go down that route. So anyway, hopefully the video is a bit better than the first one. Hopefully it's not too you can hear as clearly as you can. I have got a microphone coming, one that clips to your t-shirt or your top. So I've got one of them coming to try and make it sound a little bit better, because I can understand that the background noise and then the road noise can make it, when you hear the odd bang, and you know, when you go over a pothole, it can, you know, sort of not make the sound very good. So I've got one of them coming, so hopefully that will improve. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and till next time, which hopefully I'm going to try and do a video and bring a video out on Thursday, may bring one out not midweek, at the start of the week. So we'll see how things pan out, but obviously, you know, I've got to put my work first over making videos to entertain people on the land of YouTube. So till next time, take care and goodbye.